Hello, Martin here, and welcome to episode 6 of Recreating Stockholm in the 1920s. On the menu today we have Katarina kyrka and its surroundings in west to east from Götgatan to Renstjärnasgatan and north to south, Svartensgatan to Folkungagatan. Again, I've already built a few blocks outlined by roads here. They are right next to what we built in episode 2, just south of Mosebacketorg. And I've also placed the roads for the rest of the quarters we are going to work with today. The area we are covering in this episode looks mostly the same today, but there are some differences. Almost everything around the church has been preserved, but other blocks have changed completely. This is Katarina Norra skola, built in 1895 and still used as a school. I used this industrial building for it because it looks a bit like one, sturdily built out of stone and red bricks. I think I finally learned how to record well, and I hope this is now less disorientating than the first episodes. I don't move my camera more than I have to, and I keep it in position between clips. You see, I record pretty much every building separately and then put all the clips together. For this episode alone, it's over 200 individual clips. It's more editing, but the result is better and I hope it shows. I have to do it in this way because I spend the majority of my time figuring out which building to use, looking back and forth through images, maps, and trying out different buildings in the game. And that would not be fun to watch, I promise. So, here we have Katarina kyrka, situated high above Stadsgården and visible from all around Stockholm. It was opened in 1695 and has been destroyed by fire twice, in 1723 and, notably, in 1990. I have no really good match for it. The church I've used is about the right size and shape, but it's not in the right style, and I can't change the color to the yellow-white scheme it has in reality. This is Katarina stationen, an electricity substation. Electricity in Stockholm was produced by Värtaverket as alternating current because it can be transmitted over larger distances and had to be transformed to direct current used in the households. Each part of the city had its own substation. Today the building is used as a mosque. This prominent apartment building is sometimes referred to as Söderslottet, built in the 1880s. It lies on a hill, and during the Middle Ages stood a gallows here where criminals were hanged. This is Andreas kyrkan. I have no match at all for it, so this is pretty awful. Sorry. It's surprisingly hard to get good pictures of Björns trädgård from the 20s. Frankly, from the 20s in general. For some reason, there are much more pictures available from the late 1800s, and of course, later. The only close-ups I've found are from the 30s, when the whole place was a construction site for the first underground tram line. That opened in 1933 and had 3 stations: Slussen, Söderbantorget and Ringvägen. This is Cinema Stora Teatern. It had a very unusual shape, and this industrial building is not a very good match. It was demolished in 1931 to make way for the metro tunnel, which runs very close to the surface. Many of the houses here were built in the late 20s or early 30s, so my guess is that many of the old buildings had been demolished at the time of this model. But I'm not sure because, again, photos from the right time are hard to find. So I will place the buildings I'm sure was there and leave the rest empty for now and go back later if I get more information. I've tried to find when each building was built using an online service called Bygg- och plantjänsten, when you can search on an address and find all sorts of documents related to building permits. But it's often not as straightforward as I had hoped, and figuring out when each building was completed turns into an investigation. The site is also agonizingly slow, so it's simply not feasible to do this. Some buildings here are guesses. I have one good view, but that is from the south and some parts are hidden. It's also from 1905. Originally, the roads here followed the terrain, but around 1900, Renstjärnasgatan was lowered and leveled out. That cut both Fjällgatan and Stigbergsgatan in two halves. Alright, that will have to do for today. Again, please consider buying my game Cubitron if you haven't already to support this work. And please like and share if you found this interesting. Feedback and questions are also welcome. Take care and see you next time.